David Aiken from Global News. Yesterday at your nomination meeting, you talked about how the 2019 campaign, as you see it, for the Liberals will be one about positive politics, avoiding, as you put it, I think, fear and division. And yet some of your opponents say they have perfectly legitimate questions about the costs of border security, about, in Maxime Bernier's case, the role of multiculturalism, and they would say that if you don't want to be polarizing, you shouldn't go around calling your opponents ignorant racists when they raise such legitimate questions.
I think the fact that we will always look for ways to bring people together rather than divide them is something that has made Canada strong over the past decades and over the 150 years of our existence. The existence of a wide range of perspectives and points of view is one of the things that is greatest about Canada. And that means background in diversity and in cultures and in religion, but it also means differences in perspectives right across the political spectrum. I think it's important that we have people who come at problems from very different perspectives because that ensures that we actually solve them right. But what I have consistently said is I will point out, and I will not flinch from highlighting when the politics of division, of fear, of spreading misinformation is actually harming the fabric of this country that is pulled together to look at our common values, our common dreams, and not emphasize our differences. So while I will, as I did in the previous election, stay positive and not engage in personal attacks, I will also be very sharp wherever we see significant policy differences and whenever someone is pulling up intolerance and playing fear as a way of getting elected. The fact is we have a situation where there are irregular arrivals coming across our border into Canada. The fact is also that we are processing every single one of those irregular arrivals in a way that is 100% consistent with our immigration system. We have the resources in place to support this. We are ensuring that we are investing once again in immigration and immigration processing broadly after the years of backlogs under the previous government. And people who are trying to make this sound like a crisis are playing exactly the politics of fear and intolerance with which Canadians, and I certainly among them, will have no truck.
Glenn McGregor, CTV News. Just following up on David's question, the woman who confronted you in Quebec last week and asked some questions about the cost of immigration that a lot of Canadians share. You called her a racist, and I'm wondering what your thinking was there and what she said that you considered to be racist. You know,
one of the things that we recognize is there has been a polarization in our political discourse, and there are people who are trying to feed fears and intolerance for a broad range of reasons. And I will remain positive and remain pulling people together, pulling communities together right across this country. But I will also be very clear when people are trying to push politics of fear and indeed intolerance. That's something that Canadians expect of me. That's something that I will always do.